2024, NBA players forfeited $480 million through a system most fans have never heard of. Not to injuries, not to bad contracts, to three letters that control everything. CBA. The Collective Bargaining Agreement, a 600-page document that controls $8 billion in players' salaries, and has quietly become more powerful than any player, owner, or commissioner in league history. Steph Curry forfeited $5.1 million, Joel Embiid forfeited $4.7 million, and most players don't even understand why. What I'm about to show you isn't just about basketball. It's about how a labor agreement became a financial finesse that's reshaping the sport we love. You clicked because you wanted to know how three letters destroyed the NBA. But what you're about to discover goes deeper than basketball. In the next 12 minutes, I'm going to expose the hidden financial mechanisms behind every trade, every contract, every championship run you've ever watched. I'll show you social media posts from current players exposing their own ignorance of the system, reveal the exact dollar amounts being forfeited, and prove how the CBA has turned success into punishment. By the end, you'll understand why one NBA star said the CBA has absolutely put an end to free agency as we once knew it. And you'll never watch basketball the same way again. Let me take you back to 1954. The NBA is struggling to survive. Players are making less than teachers. There's no free agency, no guaranteed contracts. If an owner wanted to trade you to Alaska for a bag of Boston baked beans, you went to Alaska. Then Bob Cousy did something revolutionary. He organized the players. He created the NBPA, and for the first time, players had a voice. But here's the irony of that moment. Cousy wasn't just creating a union. He was creating something that would eventually consume the very thing it was supposed to protect. What started as a simple agreement for basic rights would become a 600-page monster that controls every aspect of the game. 1957, the first CBA. Simple, innocent, just basic rights. 1970s, revenue-sharing demands. The players wanted a piece of the pie. 1980s to 90s, the league explodes. Magic, Bird, Jordan, billions in revenue. But with every negotiation, every lockout, every improvement, the CBA grew more complex, more restrictive, more controlling. Until today, 600 pages, $8 billion controlled, and a system so complex that even the players don't understand it. Let me show you exactly how the system works. It's called the escrow system. The NBA withholds 10% of every player's salary to ensure a 51 to 49% revenue split between players and owners. It's designed to protect both sides from revenue fluctuations. Here's where it gets complicated. The system is based on projected revenue. When basketball-related income falls short of those projections, players don't get their money back. In 2024, basketball-related income came in at $10.25 billion below projections. Result, players forfeited $480 million. Steph Curry alone forfeited $5.1 million. Joel Embiid forfeited $4.7 million. Nikola Jokic forfeited $4.7 million. Players kept only 90.9% of their salaries. A player making $20 million took home $18.2 million. The other $1.8 million gone to ensure owners got their guaranteed share. Don't believe the system is broken? Here's what Golden State Warriors star Draymond Green posted on social media. NBA free agency is over. It never really started. The new CBA and the second apron have absolutely put an end to free agency as we once knew it. Green continued, "It's baffling to me how little players know about this business and how it affects them. I should have been the Players Association president." A current NBA star just admitted that players don't understand the system that's taking their money, and the complexity is intentional. The Golden State Warriors won championships. They built a dynasty. They gave fans the greatest basketball we've ever seen. So, the CBA punished them with the largest penalty in NBA history. $176.9 million in luxury tax for the 2023-24 season. That's more than most teams' entire payroll. The CBA had turned success into a financial penalty. But it gets worse. The new CBA introduced something called aprons, spending thresholds that don't just cost money, they strip away your ability to compete. Cross the first apron, lose certain exceptions. Cross the second apron and you're basically frozen in place. The Boston Celtics won the 2024 championship. Their reward? The CBA's restrictions forced them to trade away key players to avoid crippling penalties. The Clippers paid over $220 million in penalties over 2 seasons. The Lakers faced $53 million in luxury tax. The Timberwolves paid $90 million. The CBA wasn't creating competitive balance, it was creating a system where being good costs more than being bad. The CBA promised to help small market teams compete, level the playing field, create parity. The numbers tell a different story. The system made inequality worse. The New York Knicks earned $42 per fan. The Minnesota Timberwolves earned $30. The Lakers signed a $100 million jersey patch deal. The Thunder got $10 million. But here's the key. The CBA excludes 50% of certain arena revenues from basketball-related income. This goes back to 1988, when owners successfully argued that luxury suite revenue should be split. Part for the comfort and convenience of the suite, part for watching the game. Today, luxury suite revenue, naming rights, arena signage, 50% of these revenues are excluded from the money shared with players. The Timberwolves are valued at $247 million. The Knicks, $1.08 billion, 5 times more valuable. The CBA didn't create competitive balance. It institutionalized financial inequality while making it look fair on paper. But the most complex part isn't what the CBA does to teams. It's what it does to players. Max contracts that limit how much superstars can earn. Rookie scales that underpay the best young talent. Extension rules that can cost players hundreds of millions. Luka Doncic was traded early in his career. That trade made him ineligible for a supermax contract worth $345 million. The CBA created a system where being traded can cost you hundreds of millions, where career timing matters more than performance. Draymond Green was right. Free agency is fundamentally broken. Young players like Jonathan Kuminga can't get contracts because teams are terrified of CBA restrictions. The system is so complex that agents need lawyers to understand it, and still don't understand often. Players are making career decisions based on rules they don't comprehend. Players fought for 70 years to gain power over their careers. The CBA gave them a voice and made the language so complex they can't understand what they're agreeing to. So, how did 3 letters destroy the NBA forever? They didn't destroy it with one dramatic moment. They transformed it slowly, systematically, negotiation by negotiation. They turned basketball from a sport into a financial instrument, from dreams into data, from competition into compliance. Every trade you see is filtered through CBA restrictions. Every contract is negotiated within artificial limits. Every team decision is made by lawyers, not coaches. The soul of basketball, the pure, chaotic, beautiful unpredictability that made us fall in love with the sport, has been regulated into a formula. 3 letters, CBA. They didn't destroy the NBA with violence. They transformed it with red tape. And that might be the most profound change of all. The players thought they were fighting for freedom. The owners thought they were fighting for control. But in the end, they both became prisoners of the system they created. The CBA has become bigger than basketball itself. It's a 600-page machine that feeds on complexity, grows stronger with each negotiation, and reshapes everything in its path. Not unlike the Blob. And the most tragic part, it was supposed to save the NBA. Instead, it created a league where the salary cap is more discussed than most players, where financial advisors matter more than coaches, and where a document controls $8 billion while fans pay $15 for beer, completely unaware. Every time you buy a $200 jersey that gets traded away next season, that's CBA restrictions at work. Every time your small market team rebuilds for the 5th straight year, that's the CBA's financial structure. The NBA still exists, games are still played, championships are still won. But the price we've paid is the spontaneity and unpredictability that made basketball magical. And here's the cherry on top. The CBA's transformation of basketball isn't over. It's about to accelerate. The The current CBA expires in 2029, and early signs suggest the next negotiation could reshape professional sports forever. Remember Draymond Green saying he should have been Players Association president because he could have helped a lot? That's not just ego, that's a warning. The owners want even more financial control. The players are forfeiting hundreds of millions, and many don't understand why. The fans are paying record prices for an increasingly regulated product. What happens when the system becomes so complex that even the people who negotiate it can't predict its effects? What happens when players finally understand they forfeited nearly $500 million through a system they agreed to but didn't comprehend? What happens when the CBA's complexity finally collapses under its own weight? The answer will reshape how you see professional sports, and it's coming sooner than you think. But here's what the CBA can't control: the personal decisions that destroy careers faster than any contract restriction. While players forfeit to the escrow system, some lose even more to the relationships that the 600-page CBA never mentions. Click on this video to see how NBA stars' personal relationships cost them more than any luxury tax penalty. Because what I'm about to show you proves that sometimes the biggest threat to a player's career isn't in the boardroom, it's in the bedroom. The CBA controls their contracts, but these relationships, they control everything else.